Mailbag time again. Lots of stuff here. Don't know what's in here yet. We'll do the big one last as always. Let's work through it. There'll be links down below for some of these items if I can give you links. These are some little battery BMS modules. So these are meant for single cell BMS. Put the battery terminals across those. This is a stack of, what, 20 of them maybe. And on the back you've got the battery, power, negative, power positive, battery positive. These are lithium ion cell protection modules. So they stop them from being overcharged and over discharged. I've used these in several projects and they've been really good. Simple things, really basic, do the job. Worth having in anything. It's a bit of insurance. Okay, right. This is the iPhone 6s Plus camera. I purchased one, which I've installed in my phone. That's working perfectly now. Didn't do a video on it. Maybe I should have done a video about swapping the camera out. It was pretty easy to do. But this is the second one. I ordered two because I needed it in a hurry. And some sellers are fast than others. You never quite know what you're going to get. So I purchased two. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a spare. This will give me one spare camera. No, the one I purchased, or one of the ones I purchased, doesn't work properly. I've got a second one I can use. I don't want to take any risks. And these things aren't expensive. You know, these are pulled from other phones. You know, pulled from existing phones which have been scrapped. They may be good, may be bad. You just don't know. It's one of those. Not too exciting. Okay. This is some 3mm dual colour LEDs. I didn't actually have any of these. I was working on a project which I mentioned in the last mailbag, and I wanted to change the LEDs out, and it turns out I didn't actually have the right ones. I can't think it's a common cathode, common anode, I don't remember which ones I purchased, but so I've got a stack of these now. I've got 5mm and 3mm. Handy things to have. I mean, you don't have to use both colours, you can always just use one or the other. I think there's a red and green. So if you want a red LED, you can choose one side. If you want to use a green LED, you can use the other side. You don't have to use both options, but it gives you the functionality if you want to have both. These were going to be for charging circuits, so you can see if it's, you know, charged or not. So red to be say it's charging, green to say it's completed. That's the kind of thing I was going to work on, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that now. We'll see. Oh, what's in here? Oh, it's just folded around. Right, it's a lithium charge control module, I think, or lithium battery charger. See that? So you've got lithium cell connections on one side, power the other side. Let's get this out. Power in, battery terminals. So this is a nice, safe way of charging a battery because it's actually got a proper charge controller on it. It's meant for this job. Now I believe we got these pads here. There's actually some information about this. So you've got pad 1 and pad 2. You can actually configure the output power on these depending on this configuration. So you could do like 4.2 volts, 8.4 volts, or 12.6 is it? Something I can't remember. And also you can change the current rating as well. So you've got these different pads here. So you can actually populate or change the resistors on this side to change the current that's used for charging. So if you want us to do like a 500 milliamp charge or something like that, you could just change it. Or if you want to do 2 amps or 1 amp or whatever it might be, you can just configure these resistors. Now there was actually information on the listing for these things, which I've saved on my computer. So when I do go to use these things, I can configure them. I did buy some service mount resistors, these low value ones before. I showed them probably 2 or 3 mailbags ago, I think I showed them. And they were for these boards, so if I wanted to reconfigure them, I could do that quite easily. I didn't actually have any low end resistors. I mean, this is R012, so that's 12 milliohms. Oh, I got something a bit bigger. These are just some little power supplies. 12 volt 2 amp charge, or 12 volt 2 amps I should say. Standard 2.1 mil jack. Centre positive output. Quite often I buy things and they've got the wrong plugs on. You know, they've got the like the US style plugs or European style plugs on them. This is obviously New Zealand style, although not necessarily the best because it doesn't have the insulated pins back here. Makes me wonder about quality slightly actually. I should have paid more attention to that when I bought them. And a lot of times I buy things and they don't have the right plugs and you have to adapt them or replace the chargers, and so I've bought a few here to replace them with. So usually they're only powering low power device, like maybe only half an amp or maybe 1 amp. I always like to overspec things. If I'm expecting to use 1 amp, I'll definitely get something which is capable of 2 amps or 3 amps or something like that. I always overrate. So that way they're not being worked to the limit all the time and they last a lot longer. Alright, big box. Let's just see what's actually in here. Now, it's covered in tape. I think my ram knife isn't going to cut this because it struggles with tape. Let's do this. Right, so this is a rather beaten up box. Hopefully the contents is okay. 5¼ inch external enclosure. Now I've just got this Mac Pro 2013, new to me anyway, old machine but it's new to me. One I've got is actually made in 2016, so it's not the original vintage, it's a bit newer than that at least. Those machines, no CD drives, no DVD drives, right? There's no optical media drive, let's put it that way. And I will often get CDs and I want to copy them onto a computer or other things like that. I need to transfer files off onto a CD or onto a DVD, and there's no DVD control. So I need to get an enclosure for this. So let's just see how this actually looks. Hopefully it's not smashed up inside. It's got an New Zealand adapter thingy. The power brick. Tipping cable. But it's a standard figure of 8 type. That's easy. These are really common. I've probably got a few of those lying around anyway. Some screws. USB-C cable. Yes, that's a C. It's got 5 pins in there. Got at least 5 pins. So there's the rear panel. It's got eSATA as well if you want to use that, but it's got USB 3. Nice solid power switch there, DCN. This should be center positive, I'm guessing. I expect it is. They should all be these days, shouldn't they? Center positive, 12 volt 3 amps. And you've got a blanking panel here which you'll be able to pop out and put your drive of choice in there. So yeah, I'll be using this for that, so I can just stick it on the desk like so and put a DVD drive in there, DVD writer, and that will sort my purposes out. Sort of thing I do need to have. I'd probably mount this on my desk or have it on my desk and actually put my Mac Pro on top of it. It's about the same footprint. Yeah, why not? Anyway, this desk is getting messy. Visit the links down below for the video description. Other things you can watch down there, links to these items. Subscribe over there, Patreon support link over there. Catch you later.